Hi guys, so in this lecture we are going to be covering array methods, and we will see what are the different methods. Just like we saw in strings, numbers and date, we will see what methods we have available for arrays. Again, that is a big list, but we will try to cover the most of it. So let's say if I have an array which is, let's say, array of fruits is equals to banana, orange, apple, mango. So you can definitely access the array elements using console.log and do a fruits. Let's close the output. Let's open the console. Let's run it. Oh, I mistyped it. Console.log fruits should give me all the fruits. The first method that we have seen is the toString, which is also available in every possible data type or the object that we are seeing. It should pretty much give you something which is a comma separated value of the contents of the array. So if you want a comma separated value of the strings that you have in the array, you can use this. Now what if you don't want the comma? There is another method to your rescue, and that method is called as a join. So let me just put in toString. Let's copy this and let's do join. So what does this mean? You can pass in the parameter that you want it to be a separator. So in this case, let's say I want a pipe to be a separator. So I will run and see that it's banana, orange, apple and mango, but it's separated by the space pipe that I gave in. You can have any separator, and that's how you can make use of join. The very important aspects of array is the push and the pop. We've already seen push. Let's say if I want to do a push or add a particular array element to the last, what I do is I do a push and I say kiwi. So if I do a console log of fruits, let's try to run this. And the answer is banana, orange, apple, mango and kiwi. Also, if you note that by default, when I put in something like this, you get a comma separated without the array. The reason is you're concatenating it with a string. And by default, when you concatenate or add two strings, the answer is a string. So fruits.toString is already the computation that JavaScript does for you internally, and that's why you see a comma separated value. What is popping? So popping is very much same as what we say for push. You don't need to pass in the parameters because it assumes that it will pop out the last element, which is in this case the kiwi. And let's try to output this onto the console and see what we get. So let's make this pop, and you should get one element less, which is kiwi popped out. Easy, right? So that's the best way to play in with an array, which is a push and a pop. What if you want to put in or add an element to the start or to the beginning? In this scenario, you can use shift and unshift. So what is shift and unshift? Let's see in detail. Shifting is equivalent to popping, working on the first element instead of the last. The shift method removes the first array element and shifts all the other elements to a lower index. So what this means is fruits dot shift. What this will do is this will update the first element or remove the first element, in this scenario banana, and move all these to a lower index. So if banana is gone, this index 0 is empty. It'll move this here, move this here, move this here. So now you can access orange at the 0th element. What is unshift? Just like shift, unshift is adding the element to the first place, which is the 0th element. In this scenario, let's add back the banana. And let's try to see the answer. and unshift would be banana added and everything moved to a higher index. What if you want to change an element or reassign an element? Let's say, for example, instead of banana, I want to change elements. Let's say instead of banana, I want to have fruits of 0 is equals to kiwi. And I can just output this. And you can see that the first element becomes kiwi. So you can reassign anything that you want in an array. The best example that we saw in the previous class was to add an element to the end. So rather than doing a kiwi out here, let's add banana to the end and let's see what happens. And the way you can do it is you can just get fruits dot length. So that will give you the last element, and let's add banana to it. And let's see what we get. You can see banana. Oops, I missed an A. Let's clear, run, and here it is. Since JavaScript arrays are objects, elements can be deleted by using JavaScript operator delete. What do I mean by that? So let's see an example. Delete. You can do a delete of fruits of 0. What this will do is it will delete the first element, which is kiwi, but it will replace it with undefined, which means it will leave a blank space. So deleting can cause, let's see the example first. So this is an undefined, and when you try to undefine into a string, it's an empty string. Using delete may leave undefined holes in the array. It's better to use a pop or a shift. Okay, this brings us to another cool method in JavaScript for arrays. It is called the splice method. So the splice method can be used to add new elements to an array. Let's see an example. Splice. Let's use the original array that we had so that it's easier to work with. And let's say if I need to add 2 more elements, and I need to add it at the index of, let's say, 2, which means after the apple, and I do not need to replace anything. So I'll give it an index of 2, 0, and let me give the elements that I need to add. Let's say I need to add a lemon and a kiwi. Now if I do a run on this, splice, and let's run the fruits. Let's run it. Let me clear, actually it's easier. Lemon and kiwi got inserted at the second position and no element was removed. You can also use splice to remove elements. Yes, the second parameter that you see out here is for removing an element. In this scenario, we do not have anything to remove, but let's say if I want to remove something from the fruits array, I'll do a fruits.splice and I'll remove a 0, 1. What this will do is at the index 0, remove the first element that we see. So it will remove banana in this scenario. Let's try and output the splice content onto the screen. Splice, remove, and let's see the example. And the banana is gone. So you can, just like pop, you can use splice. What if you need to join the arrays? Which means you have 2 arrays you need to combine. This is a very common scenario that you will have in programming where you need to join the arrays. In fact, there are many libraries that are built on top of the plain JavaScript, which will enable you to perform multiple actions onto an array. So let's see a very good example where we have variable array1 is equals to Tom, John, and variable array2 is equals to Smith, Jesse. Now what if I need to concatenate these two? So I can either create a new array, which is my array is equals to array1 dot concat array2, and do a console log of my array. The answer is Tom, John, Smith, and Jesse. You can also have one more array out here, let's say variable array3 is equals to Bob and Rocky. And let's put it in here. And this will be concatenated too. Sorry, I have a zoomed in version of this JSBin, and that's why you can see the JSBin info down there in big. So this is your array and it's concatenated. Easy, right? You can concatenate any number of arrays using this concat method. Let's move on to another cool method that we have in JavaScript, and it's called slicing an array. The slice method slices out a piece of an array into a new array. So what happens? Slice, I know, sounds very close to splice, but it has a very different functioning. So slicing, what we do in slicing is, let's say we have the original fruits out here. So this is our array. Now if I do a fruits dot slice and I pass in the parameter as 1, which means that this will slice out a part of an array starting from array element 1. What is the array element 1? It's not banana, but it's on orange. So everything from orange will be a new array. So let's try to create a new fruits2 is equals to this. Let's do a console.log of fruits2 and you can see the results yourself. The answer would be orange, apple and mango. So you slice out everything from this to this. Now if in case you want to not slice out everything, but you want to slice out only like 2 elements out of it, in that case you can just give 1. Let's make this 3. Let's make this 3. Let's clear this. Let's run. And it'll just give you orange because it'll take this 1 and it'll take it till the array which is second. So it will not include apple, but if you want to include apple and run again, it will have orange and apple. So it's the index but not including the index. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So 3 is not included, but everything till 3. And it starts from 1, which is orange and apple. So that's slicing for you. Now there are many ways of sorting an array. Again, it requires a separate session, so we will cover that in the next one. Till then, play along with these array methods and do make sure that you see the complete reference that I share in the link.